Good morning, students. We have in 12th physics 2 volumes is there. First volume having 5 lessons and second volume having 6 lessons. And then before enter our topic, all the students to take over note and take all the points from the today class. Okay. Then in our first volume we have the 5 lessons. First lesson is electrostatics, second lesson is current electricity, third lesson is magnetism, fourth lesson is electromagnetic induction, fifth lesson is electromagnetic waves. So, first lesson is electrostatics, is completely based on the electricity and current, and second lesson and charges at the rest you have to study in the first lesson, charges will be moving you have to study in the second lesson, and third lesson you will study at the magnetism properties, and fourth one is magnetic field. You have to apply it any one object, what the way the current will be produced you have to learn. Then fifth lesson, superimpose of electric field and magnetic field to produce the electromagnetic waves. All the properties you have to learn in the first volume. Electric field, magnetic field only you have to learn in the first volume. And then moreover 80% of question is in the expression form and 20% will be in the theoretical form. So, first I will go for the first lesson, that is electrostatics. Okay, what is meant by electro? Electro means electricity. What is the difference between current and electricity? What is meant by current? Current is flow of charges. Electricity means study of flow of current. Electrostatics means, what's the meaning that stat? Stat means rest. So charges at rest to create electricity. So electricity in the stationary charges only explain these topics. So electrostatics is the branch of physics which deals the electricity in the stationary charges, that is electrostatics. So electrostatics, charges will be moving, current will be come. So the current only created in the moving charges. This lesson only the charges at the rest to create electricity, this lesson we will study. Okay. Enter this topic, you should first know about the electromagnetic forces. What's the meaning that electromagnetic forces? Two things it will be interact with one another, atoms in the first thing, atoms in the second thing, it will be collide with one another to create a force, that is electromagnetic forces. This electromagnetic forces is the origin of the all other forces. What are the forces will be you have to know. One is normal force. What's the meaning that normal force? Normal force, I pushed a book or desk, I apply the force on the desk, atoms in my hand, it will be interact with the atoms in the desk. So, it will be interaction will be done, that is electromagnetic in nature. So, normal force is the origin of the electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force is completely origin of the normal force. And second one is friction. What is it by friction? I rubbed my hands to and fro, atoms in my first hand and atoms in the second hand will be interact with one another, that is electromagnetic nature. So, the electromagnetic force is as well as the origin of the friction. And third one is gravitational force. Protons, electrons, U is the U plus, U minus and E naught. E plus is called as a proton, E minus is called as a electrons and E0 is called as a neutrons. So, that all are the electric charges. And second one is conservation of charges. What is the meaning that conservation of charges? What is the meaning that conservation? Conservation means all the charges it will be equal to 0, that is called conservation of charges. Conservation of charges means some of the positive charges will be acted, some of the negative charges will be acted, some of the positive charge and negative charge, the total amount to be 0, that is called conservation of charges. And then net charge to be 0 and total charges to be is a constant, and then charges cannot be neither be created nor be destroyed, that is called conservation of charges. And third one is quantization of charges. quantization of charges means the quantity of charges. What's the meaning that quantization? Quantization is a quantity that the net charge, that is Q is equal to N into E. Q is a net charge, N is an integer, E is the charge of one electron. Q is a net charge, N is an integer. What's the meaning that integer? That is 0 plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2 up to that. And what's the meaning that E? That is a charge of one electron. What's the value of charge of electrons? Already you learned in the 11th standard and 10th standard. What is the charge of an electron? That the value is E is equal to 1.6 in 10 power minus 19 coulomb. What's the unit of charge? That is coulomb, C. So E is equal to 1.6 in 10 power minus 19 coulomb. So again I tell, what are the properties of electric charges? First, what are the charges? Proton, electron and neutron. Conservation of charges means charges cannot be neither be created nor be destroyed, and total number of charges is constant. And quantization of charges means Q is equal to N into E. Q is a net charge, N is an integer and E is the charge of one electron. What's the value of charge of one electron? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, and go for the next one. Next one, scientists will come, that is coulomb. Coulomb gave the very good formula for the point charges. Charges, attraction, charges, repulsion. He will give the, he had give the one special law, that is Coulomb's law. Coulomb will be giving the, consider the two charges. One is positive, that is Q1, and another one is Q2. The two charges separated by a distance R. Okay. He considered the two charges Q1, Q2 and separated by a distance R. So, he created one formula. Force of attraction between the charges F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square. So, force of attraction between the two charges, it will be directly proportional to the product of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Then force will be denoted as a two-way, F21, F12. What is the meaning that F21 and F12? F21 means force acting on charge 2 by charge 1. Force exerted on charge 2 by charge 1. And F12 is force is applying on charge 1 by 2. So, two ways the force will be denoted as, and then distance will be denoted as two way, that is R12 and R21. What is the meaning that R12 and R21? R12 means distance between the charge 1 to 2, that is left to right, the distance R12. Right to left, that is R21. And R21 is again minus R12 also denoted as. Okay. So, what is the Coulomb's law? That is F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square. So, F21 will be directly proportional to Q1, Q2 by R square. You have to cancel the proportionality, you have to include the constant, that is K. So, F21 is equal to K into Q1, Q2 by R square. What's the value of K? So, next I will tell the important points about the Coulomb's law, Coulomb's formula. First one is write the formula as this side. F is equal to K into Q1, Q2 by R square. Okay. In the vector form, K is equal to Q1, Q2 by R12 square and R12 unit. So, R12 cap is nothing but is a position vector. What is the meaning that position? What places the charges will be in located, that the position. So, R12 is simply mention the unit vector that the value is simply 1. So, you multiply the one value is nothing, the value is to be changed. So, you have to note down the force in the vector form, you only put the unit vector R12 cap. So, important aspects of this formula, first one is you tell the explanation. force of attraction is between the two charges will be directly proportional to the product of two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. That is the first point. And second point is, what is F12, what is F21, what is R12, what is R21. That the explanation will be in the second points. What is F12? Force is acting on charge 1 by charge 2. Force is acting on charge 2 by charge 1. And distance between the first charge to second charge. Distance between the second charge to first charge. That is all are the second points. And what is the third point? That the constant K. What is the value of K? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. What is the K value? K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. That the value is 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square coulomb per minus 2. Newton meter square coulomb per minus 2. That is the K value. K is a constant and 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square coulomb per minus 2. Again students, you have to note in this formula, 1 is a number, 4 is a number, pi is the mathematical expression. What is the meaning that epsilon naught? What is the meaning of epsilon? What is mean by epsilon? Epsilon is the permittivity. Permittivity, already you learn in 11th standard, permittivity and permeability. What is the mean by permittivity and permeability? Permeability having the same meaning, but permittivity is used in the electric field, permeability used in the magnetic field. Permittivity, what is the meaning that permittivity? Allow the electric field by this own way. One material will be easily allow the electric field by this own way that the material having highest permittivity. Permeability means one material having the quality to pass away from me, that is the magnetic field. So, electric field denoted as permittivity and magnetic field denoted as permeability. Permittivity will be called as epsilon, permeability is mu. This lesson you have to learn permittivity only. So, permittivity will be denoted as epsilon, epsilon naught and epsilon r. What is epsilon? What is epsilon naught? What is epsilon r? Epsilon is permittivity in free phase, epsilon naught is permittivity in medium, permittivity in free phase, relative permittivity. Permittivity in medium, okay, any metal surface. Permittivity in free phase, nothing but no air. What does it mean by relative permittivity? Relative permittivity is nothing but permittivity in medium by permittivity in air. So, epsilon by epsilon naught, so that is a relative permeability is the ratio of epsilon in medium by permittivity in air. So, relation between the two medium, that is called relative permittivity. So, okay, that is the fourth point. And fifth point is that the force will be obey the Newton's third law. Coulomb's law will obey the Newton's third law. Coulomb force will be obeying the Newton's third law. And sixth point is force. What is the formula? F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R12. You have to consider the charge is 1 Q1 and Q2 also 1 coulomb. And distance between the two charges, the formula F is equal to K into 1 by 1. So, F is equal to K into 1. What is the K value? That is F is equal to 9 into 10 power 9. That is Newton. So, 1 coulomb of charges, it will be interact with one another between the distance 1 meter to create forces 9 into 10 power 9 Newton. That is the sixth point. And seventh point is Coulomb's law only applicable in the pi charges. What does it mean that pi charges? The radius is very small. That is a very dark charge. That is point charge. Only applicable in the point charges. You have to consider the point charge 1 and point charge 2. The distance between the r. So, radius of the charge is very much less than the distance between the two charges. So, Coulomb's law is only applicable on the point charges. Coulomb's law only applicable on the point charges. Okay, that are all other special points about the Coulomb's law. First, you should know about the what is meant by Coulomb's law. What are the points in the Coulomb's law? 7 points already I gave. You have to learn it, and then that all the points you have to know. You have to further, we have to proceed at the next topic. So okay, then go for the next one. Difference between Coulomb's law and universal gravitation law. Difference between Coulomb's law and universal gravitation law. Coulomb's law means electrostatic force. Students, please note down all the points, because this difference is very much important for annual exam. That is electrostatic force and universal gravitational force. So electrostatic force and universal gravitational force. First you tell the formula for universal force and electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is nothing but that is a Coulomb force. What's the formula for Coulomb force? F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square. Then vector form R12 cap, that is R12 and F21. Universal gravitation force, anyone tell? F is equal to G into M1 M2 by R square. What is the difference between the two formulas? Q1 Q2 is presented this side, M1 M2 presented that side, and then R is presented this side and R also is presented that side. This formula is noted as vector form, that formula is noted as normal format. So Coulomb's force, it will be equal to the product of charges, ratio of product of charges and to the square of the distance between them. But gravitational force, it will be equal to ratio of product of two masses and to square of the distance between them. That is the first point. And second point, electrostatic force, attractive force as well as the repulsive force. Attractive and repulsive force. Attractive or repulsive force. But universal gravitational force, only attractive force only. That is an important one word also, students. So you have to note down. Attractive force, electrostatic force is also as attractive force as well as the repulsive force, but universal gravitational force only attractive force. And third point, constant. Electrostatic force constant is K. Universal gravitational force constant is G. What is the meaning that? That is the force constant K, that is the gravitational constant G. What is the value of the two constants? K is equal to 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square Coulomb per minus 2. That the thing G is 6.626 in 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square kilogram per minus 2. So what is the difference between the two values? K value is 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square Coulomb per minus 2. Gravitational constant value G equal to 6.626 in 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square kilogram per minus 2. That the two values K is very much greater than G. That is also a very important one word also. K will be very much greater than G. Electrostatic force constant is very much greater than the gravitational constant. Okay. Then fourth point is electrostatic force depends upon the nature of the medium. Nature of the medium. Electrostatic force, it will be depends upon the nature of the medium. But universal gravitational force does not depend upon the nature of the medium. Doesn't depend upon the, depends upon the nature of medium. So fourth point is electrostatic force, it will be completely depends upon the nature of the medium, but gravitational force, it does not depend upon the nature of the medium. That is the fourth point. And fifth point, all are noted ma? Okay. Fifth point, Coulomb force only applicable in the rest charges. Coulomb force that is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force only applicable is applicable only rest charges, that is stationary charges. Suppose the charges have to be moving, Lorentz force will come. So electrostatic force is applicable only at the rest charges. Then moving charges will be present, Lorentz force will come. So moving charges that is Lorentz force will come. Lorentz force. Okay. But this side, universal gravitational force, this is same for the rest charges and moving charges. So universal gravitational force, it will be same for rest charge or moving charge. So okay, again I tell the 5 points. First one is the formula. Second one is electrostatic force only the attractive and repulsive force, and gravitational force is only the attractive force. And third point, it will be obeys the Newton's third law, and that is it will be depends upon the nature of the medium, does not depend upon the nature of the medium. And electrostatic force is only applicable at the rest charges. Suppose moving charges is there, Lorentz force will come, and universal gravitation force is same for the rest charges as well as the moving charges. Okay, all are noted down, ma. Then go for the simple topic and simple 2 mark also. That is superposition principle. Superposition principle. What does it mean by superposition? Superposition means combination of all the charges, combination of all the forces. Suppose more and more forces will be acting on the charges, is between the charges, you have to calculate the total number of forces is acting on the one thing or one object. So superposition principle is net force, it will be equal to the sum of all the forces will be acting on the one object. So F12 vector plus F13 vector plus F14 vector up to that F1n. So net force will be equal to the sum of all the forces will be acting on the between the charges. F12 means force is acting on charge Q1 by Q2. So Q1 charge by Q2. Force is acting on charge Q1 by Q2. So add all the charges will be acting between the charges. You have to get the net charge. So what's the formula for F? You have to take out the constant value K. Then Q1 Q2 by R12 square, R12 vector, and then Q1 Q3 R13 cap, vector R13 cap plus up to that Q1 Q1 by R1n square and R1n vector. So that is the superposition principle. K is a constant and Q1 Q2 by R12 is the F12 force, and Q1 Q3 R13 is the F13 force, and up to that is the N of the force. Superposition principle is nothing but superimpose of all the charge, all the forces will be acting between the charges. So superposition principle is that superposition principle gives out only the net forces will be acting between the charges. So how will you get the net force? Fn is equal to F1 plus F2 plus up to that Fn. That's all. So okay, thank you students.